Hey guys, welcome to a new thing I wish to be trying out on a weekly basis. It's going to be called Work in Process, the Saturday Showcase, where basically once a week I'm going to try to do a more long-form video where I kind of pick a game from my lifetime that I've kind of enjoyed and basically, explain, the importance of it, what it means to me, and maybe have a few fun stories that kind of tie into the game in question. Today isn't so much particularly one specific game, but rather a franchise in itself. I have spent a good portion of my life at this point really enjoying the Animal Crossing franchise. I first started playing back when I was a lot younger, back in high school, when it first came out on the Gamecube. I know it was originally on the Nintendo 64 in Japan, but the global port was put on the Gamecube, and I got it. And what you're seeing right now is something I did not get to see for practically an entire year. That being snow. When I first got it, it was February. I can't really say which one it is. I've always been confused about that word, but I had gotten it, and it was right at the tail end of winter, and pretty much, I can't remember if the snow had landed or if it was just barely started to leave. But long story short is, it was there. It was either there or there's evidence of being there on the first day that I played. And then the very next day, it was gone. And it obviously transitioned from being winter to spring to summer to autumn. And I basically had to wait an entire year to actually experience snow, which for some people might not matter as much. But for me, being somebody who's from South Texas or Central South Texas, it's snow's not something that I actually get to see on a regular basis. So it kind of was a bummer, but it just kind of made it all that much more exciting when it finally came around. It was a gift from my mother during you have birthdays and Christmas that most people would celebrate their not celebrate, but people receive gifts on. And for me, my birthday, fun fact, is 2 days before Christmas on December 23rd. So a lot of my presents are kind of compacted together. So it's not as big of a deal. I used to think that, my sister, her birthday is right as beginning of school starts. I think she should get school supplies for her birthday in addition to her presents, as well as I thought that my youngest sister, her birthday is in February, a couple weeks after Valentine's Day, and I thought, maybe she should get Valentine's gifts as well. But this is pettiness. But what happened is we had basically a non-official type holiday type thing, not really a holiday, but a time of year where we would get, my mother would get a income tax return, and she would get us something nice on it. So it's kind of like a special present there. And for me, the big present that I got that year was I got Animal Crossing on the GameCube, and I enjoyed it so much. But at the time, you get your income tax around February, and that's why I got it around that time instead of what you'd normally expect. But that being said, that's when I got it, explaining the time frame, and I just really loved the game so much. It was just became basically a staple in my teenage years. There was nothing more. I could say there's a more impactful game for me per se than Animal Crossing. That's saying a lot, because the GameCube was a big thing for me. I mean, it was competing with stuff like Sonic Adventure 2, Battle, Sonic Adventure 1 DX Director's Cut. I had that as well, but it wasn't as big as 2, but also I had Smash Brothers Melee, and I had a lot of games that I spent a lot of time on. And the fact that I can say Animal Crossing pretty much is the front runner in that. I had both the Pokemon games, Coliseum, as well as XD Gale of Darkness. It just doesn't matter. It came down to Animal Crossing is the bee's knees for me, and this game just really means a lot. And it's been a symbol of peace, dare I say, throughout my entire life. And when I found it was coming out on the Switch, I was really excited for that as well. Prior to it coming out on the Switch, they had a Pocket Camp, which was a pretty fun kind of Animal. I wouldn't say it's definitely not a traditional Animal Crossing game, but it is very much. It has some of the core things in it, and that would be my wife and her family's first Animal Crossing games, and it was pretty fun for them. They got to collect these things, all the things that come along with it. And then when it was coming out on the Switch, it was a big deal for me. I was like, I really want this because as fun as Pocket Camp can be, I want the traditional thing. I want me to control your character, run around, build a town, and all those fun things, collecting and just everything. And it really meant a lot to me to be able to do that. And I was happy that they got the little piece of the softcore version of Animal Crossing that was Pocket Camp, because it basically really helped introduce them to what the core concept of the game is. And I was just very thankful that they got that, because they enjoyed it enough that when it came out on the Switch, it was basically all the convincing we needed to get them to get Switches also. And then they got Animal Crossing, and we just kind of went from there. It was like, what's that, the old phrase, like, and the rest is history as we know it type of thing. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that there is an appreciation from the family in Animal Crossing that came from these things. It felt more of a mostly organic thing. They got to enjoy it firsthand on their own. And then when it came out, they got to, I obviously did try to petition it a little bit, tell them it's a great game, it's definitely worth the buy. And as they got it, it really wasn't a lot of me selling it so much as it was them actually being able to experience. And I was just really grateful that, I don't know. I can't speak entirely on their behalf. I can't say that they love it as much as I do. But I do think that they do have a deeper appreciation for it than what they would have had otherwise. And I'm just really grateful it's something that we get to share. When I had it, when the game first came out, the name of my town it's stuck to me this entire time. It holds a close place in my heart. The very first neighbor that I ever liked was Wolfgang, and the name of my town then, and every town I've ever had since then, has always been the same, which is Anomil, kind of like animal, spelled Anomil. And it's just kind of stuck with me ever since then. I really appreciate it. And it's just a crazy idea. I remember the couple neighbors I really didn't like. And, this is my own hot take. If you guys don't appreciate it, I mean, it's fine. Animal Crossing is a great game. There's like 400, probably 500 different neighbors to choose from. So, who are my favorites and who are your favorites can and most likely will be very different, and that's okay, right? But in my first not island, back then, it's kind of like towns, the little train station, Porter the monkey, kind of miss that guy. The first villager I really didn't like, I never really liked Filbert, but he was alright. There's something about Filbert, the little blue squirrel, I wasn't a big fan of. My brother actually has him in his New Horizons town right now, and he seems to be okay with him. I don't know. I think it was he was kind of a sissy or something like that. No, it's the personality. It's not so much that they're sissies. They're just kind of like dirty people, and like talk about talking with their bugs and all that jazz. And I wasn't a big fan of him, but he was alright. He was my favorite color at the time, which was blue. In case you want to know, my favorite color right now is pretty much white because it goes with anything, and then black's like second favorite because it also goes with anything. But like my favorite color scheme is typically black and white with a third color as an accent color, which is typically blue or gold is what I like. But silver was alright. Now, one animal I couldn't stand, and I tried to get rid of so many times, was a pink panda with a mole named Chow. And golly, I'm glad they made it so much easier to get rid of animals nowadays, because that would not fly in my island right here now. I'm just saying, if he showed up at a campsite or something like that, I wouldn't even hesitate to be like, yeah, no, not happening. So, that's kind of like what I had back then. And just remember, so many cool things. The fact that the game played in real time, so like you could, you had to actually do things when they were in season, otherwise you'd miss me to wait a whole year. I had it was a website I would go to. I can't remember what it's called, because this was back when, you know, the internet was kind of around, but it wasn't like the biggest thing in the world. I got stuck. The internet was kind of alright back then, but it was still like not so futuristic that we didn't have a use for magazines. Like, I remember one time I went to a video game store. It's now called GameStop, but at the time I believe it was EB Games, and I picked up a magazine just to skim through it, see if I wanted it, and the clerk was just like, you like to believe these people don't exist, but no, he legit was just like, hey, either buy it or put it back on the shelf. Like, this isn't a library. Like, okay. Gotcha. But I bring that up because, like, I mainly used the website to figure out what were the seasons and whatnot to catch all the bugs and fish. But one big thing that I didn't realize on the website at the time, or maybe they didn't have it on the website, was how to get Wisp, the ghost. I would have never guessed because he's like around at nighttime. And finding out that, like, I was in summer school at the time when it happened, I first came across Wisp, and like finding out about that was like crazy for me. And when I actually got to see him, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, it was a reason to stay up late. I never had one of those before, and I got to experience it like firsthand. Like, it was one of those cool things that, you know, we have these memories that you just can't replicate it these days when it comes to games. Like, the importance of actually having a magazine to like figure out things. It was so new. There's not like there was an Animal Crossing 1. No, it was Animal Crossing 1, you know? So, being able to discover that was actually pretty nifty for me, and I really enjoyed it, and just, man, so much. I remember one crazy thing was the first time I had ever came, I refused to time travel on my own console, or I guess at the time I was just on my GameCube, but because the time wasn't local, it was not tied to your system, it was on the cartridge itself. So I had a spare memory card that originally my sister had used for a town, but then she lost interest in the game, and I would do time traveling with that sometimes, including I had one that was it was the 4th of July at her town. I wanted to use it to find something, and I went there. I looked for the fireworks, but I had no idea that the creature known as Arapaima existed. And seeing that giant shadow in the water for the first, I was like flipping my lid over there. I was like, that's huge. What is this thing? And I fished it up, and it's bigger than my character model. I'm like, whoa! Like, and oh man, I wish more people could experience these things. But let's take a moment and check out my animals that are on my island right now. It's forever not finished. I finished it one time, but I then renovated it, but never actually fully finished it with details. Let's see how long I've been gone. Hey, Chai. I like your little bow. Yep, forever. You know exactly how long it's been. Fortunately, she's not going to guilt me. So that's one down. We got to find the other 9. Easy peasy. We got Anka over here. Don't get any ideas. She is... I don't think it's so much that I wanted a cat, but it was a callback to the original animals. I'm very selective about which animals I wanted. My wife found out how to get pretty much whatever animal you want on your island, so it was a lot easier to get who I like. So I have like one original animal that I didn't have prior on my island, and from there, pretty much every animal except for like one other. I have 2 ducks on my island. Pretty much every animal who's not a duck was somebody who I specifically took, which is kind of ironic because the last time I finished my island, every single neighbor I had were ducks. Like, what's their names? Like Derwin, is it Dowen? Derwin, Joey, just people like that. There's one that starts with an M. I just can't remember. Oh, Molly. That's what her name was. Molly. All these different ducks on my island. I don't know why I went with a duck theme. I think the main thing was the 2 ducks that I have, I didn't want to get rid of. So it's like, all right, cool. I would rather have all frogs, but we'll have all ducks just because it's, you know, it means that I have to get rid of the ducks and I'll have to have 2 random ducks and a whole bunch of frogs around that. I really like how I decorated Eric's house. Basically, my interior decoration belief for the animals is I take a handful of things that are native, like naturally in their room, and then I build upon that. I love the bed because it's a dirty kind of bed, and it kind of plays off of his lazy personality. So I really like how that came out right there. Obviously, we won't get to see all of there. He has a question mark because I didn't say hi to him when I went in the second time. We won't get to see all of them because not everyone's going to be in their house, but we'll get to see a few as we look for them. 3 down, 7 to go. Here's Shep. He's a dog. Basically, what I like about Shep is that right there. His hair covers his eyes, so I always enjoy when he like gets shocked or something and he like shows off his eyes. I always find that to be pretty fun, pretty interesting for me. But you know, that's why I chose him. Eric was basically, I like the idea of deer, and I felt like it was a really good a good choice for a neighbor. Trying to think who else I got and why I would have picked them. Lots of different animals to choose from. Hey Sahara. Obviously not a neighbor in my island, but you know, she's alright. Let's see who else we got. And I was supposed to decorate the outside of the house to match her personality as well. Obviously, this is where Anka lives, but you know, she's probably the most, along with one other animal that I actually finished. Over here, my resident old guy. I try to pick one neighbor of each personality. So this is my grumpy neighbor. Really appreciate him. I don't know. It's just something about an old wolf that just made me so excited. Oh man, look, same jacket and everything. Come on, you got this. Get those reps in. Come on, you got this, Dobie. While he gets his finishes this set, my idea for his was kind of just this classy look for his little place. Give him a little writer's desk. I believe he naturally has a writer's desk, but try to make him look more of a intellectual type. And I feel like it really comes good. I really appreciate it. Number 5. Let's see if he remembers the exact time I've been away. Looks like the answer is no, but you know, really appreciate him. He's pretty cool. I think we can find 6 and 7. I believe my ducks are currently in their house. I know my squirrel is not in her house, and I think my frog is also not in his house. But we'll take a look at that, see if we can find them. Actually, knowing that the ducks are in the house, we might try to look for other people real quick. Looks like the frog actually went in his house. So the importance of this character right here, it's drift. Oh man. So on the original Animal Crossing game, you had 15 animals that you could... I always get that ceiling fan. that would be on in your town, and you actually have a 16th one that lived on an island, and you had to use the Game Boy Advance adapter for the GameCube to actually visit them. But the upside was, thankfully, like hopefully you like that animal because they can't move out ever. And Drift was my 16th resident. He lived on the island all by him, lonesome self. But I really appreciated having him there. He was a really cool guy, and I probably wouldn't have picked anybody other than him, to be quite honest. My little squirrel right here, I own. A little camera shy, I guess. I don't know if that's going to break how long it's been since I talked to her. I think she has one with a thought bubble currently. But this guy is my oldest neighbor. He was my original athletic neighbor. I think everybody starts with an athletic boy and a sisterly girl. And he was my, I guess, some people might call him OG, if you will. Really appreciate him. People be weird sometimes. I guess the word would be ship, when you have like two characters who you in your head, like your head canon, they're like romantically involved. For me, this guy's like my bro, and the picture behind him of Ketchup, my mental head canon is that they're like just the cutest couple. So spoiler alert, that's who lives in the house next door to Scoop, but he keeps a nice little picture of her by his bedside, so she can be the first thing he sees at night and whatnot. Also, there's some minor affections in this room as well, like this ladybug. Things that, as I put myself kind of in his position, I think about what matters. And my wife, I wouldn't really say it's a spirit animal, but a creature that matters a lot to her is the idea of the ladybug. So I put that in there. And I just kind of really appreciate that, what's the term? Live vicariously through characters. Here's Ketchup, sweet little duck from the thumbnail. Why I chose that picture, I don't know, but basically kind of decorated her house to be very classy, very cutesy. I imagine she grew up, with good parents and just kind of moved to her own little place and had a great start in life. She's cooking up something, so let's see what she's making. Get ourselves a DIYer, as I like to call them DIWs. Let's see what she's making today. I really like when they added food to the game. I felt like it was really interesting. Basically, I like cooking in games. I'm always a big fan of Harvest Moon and stuff like that. Hope we get a new recipe to learn today. Mushroom pizza. But the idea of being able to cook things was a great addition to the game, because even though you don't necessarily need to cook things in the game, I do get to use it sometimes to make life a little bit easier. Like when you want to, I think there's a thing you make with coconuts. It takes 2 coconuts to make, but it heals you, but it gives you 3 energy for breaking things. And I feel like that, it's just why use 2 coconuts to break things when you can use 2 coconuts to break 3 things? Words, and we're not. Who are we missing? We're missing Renee, who is a horse. I think I saw her over here earlier. Just kind of break the silence so they don't miss me so much. Oh, okay. She's fishing also. Alright, cool. And I think that might be all of them. Let's see if I can remember how to open the map, shall we? Oh, nope, not that button. Oh, man. There you go. Map it up. And yeah, that's everybody. So, the general town structure kind of set up like that. I like the idea of when you first show up over here, if somebody were to visit the island, you have the 2 shops right up here for people to be able to come visit. And then the rest of all the residentials kind of have their own little neighborhood type thing, so it's easy to find all the animals in one little area. And then after that, I don't think I've actually had this one yet, so I'm buying it for catalog reasons. You have all the animals in one little neighborhood. I have a little boardwalk type thing where basically you can, what's it called? Just kind of visit it, kind of like a carnival fair type thing. Something I found like it'd be kind of fun, kind of interesting to try to take away from the stress here. Big fan of it. How you kind of have the claw machine's not supposed to be out here, but it kind of goes with the aesthetic. I like the little ticket booth. I was supposed to put more tickets. A lot of this stuff is half built. We have the little merry-go-round right here. I put the gyros here, not for any particular reason. Just like you'd expect, there's an EBT machine over here. All that. Got your teacup ride, your Ferris wheels back there. Got the little duck games, which is a little insensitive considering that I got a couple ducks living here, but you know, it happens. One thing I've always been a fan of before I head to the little park area is I have a lighthouse up here. I really like its location. Man, I can't even see it entirely. But good cosmetic choice. I really like it up there. Feel like putting it up on that that higher level really makes it feel more like a actual lighthouse, you know? Coming over on this way, we have the little park area where I planted all of my little flowers. Basically, as I tried to revamp my whole island, I had a lot of flowers. My wife helped me out a lot with these flowers and crossbreeding. She did a lot more than I did, and she gave me a lot of these as well. And I didn't want to get rid of them. That's why I have a bunch on the beach to the south that are just not doing anything. I would like the idea of planting a lot more blue flowers over here. That's the goal, to basically make like a flower river that'll go all the way from that point to this entry point. And I'll put like maybe like an archway or something that'll keep, like, it basically like visualizes like keeping the flowers back. I didn't realize I have this all the way over here, so I can't get past it. I wonder if I can move it back some. That's as far back as it goes. Can I sneak past it now? I cannot. Okay, cool. Maybe I won't even need to put anything over there because I already can't get past it. But that's where blue goes. Purple is up there, as you can see. And then orange is up towards the top. We'll find a way up there. Green was difficult, basically, because all you get are green mums. But I put this glow moss over here that during, what's it called, warmer months, it does maintain that kind of greenish color. But we have the orange one over here. Another big thing that I really like is this little angel statue that I put up here. The Valiant statue, I believe it's called. I feel like it looks really great, especially when you look at it from the bottom area. Like stuff like right here. Look up, and it's just a really big fan of that look right there. But it continues on. Basically, got a little double layer right here. Basically, the build limit is put a bunch of vines on it for cosmetic purposes. And then we got the back bridge over here. Always been a big fan of these types of things. And then, in case I ever need any produce, just put all my vegetables and fruit and all that jazz over here. At the beginning of the video, you guys see that I have a little area back there where, when Red visits the town, you can basically, it really adds to the appeal that he is a degenerate that, you know, isn't entirely welcome in the town. Like, he's doing his shady business. This little statue over here, just nice little water structure. I've always been a fan of water structures. Come around, we got an area that's also half finished. I think I should probably make it to look more like an actual campsite. So when we have visitors, it actually looks like a place that they'd want to stay. And that pretty much sums up a whole tour of the town. Like I said, a lot of it is what I consider half finished. I could definitely do a little bit more. But we'll see. One idea that was pitched by my wife was perhaps doing a long play, or not long play, that's like one video, but like a let's play, where basically I make a whole new island for Animal Crossing, which I always felt like if I got a new Switch, I might consider doing that, but, you know, I also have considered just transitioning my island currently to a new Switch as well, but we'll see what it looks like. But I'm not really incentivized to getting a new Switch. That is until I seen the news this morning. Spoiler alert, in case you guys haven't seen it yet. The Switch 2 is been announced as of today. So there's I like the idea of getting that, and that will be what I end up not streaming. I mean, I don't mind streaming some games with it, but that will be what I will be playing on in the near future. Hopefully, whenever it comes out, I'll try to play it on that instead of this, my normal Switch. But who knows? Maybe we will get a little bit more out of that. If, you know, like, be able to use that as an excuse to start a whole new island on there. My only what's the term, insecurity that I have about it, the only thing that makes me kind of nervous, is the idea of, I don't know how popular Animal Crossing as a game is right now. Obviously, you know, there's lots of people who love it. There's always be a popular game, but I feel like the big issue is how much are people wanting to see Animal Crossing content still? Because I just feel like it's a popular game, but like, is the demand like still there? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't mind playing it because I enjoy it, but also as it's the crux of being a content creator. It's that I like the game. No, more than I like the game. I love the game. The game is definitely something I really enjoy. I can't say I can never get bored of Animal Crossing. I can't get bored of it, but I'll never hate the game. I always feel like playing it. If they ever come up with a new one, I'll definitely want to invest in it and play it and enjoy it. But there's no signs that a new one's coming out with the Switch 2, in case you have seen it. All we have currently is that they have a Mario Kart game coming out with it, and that's legit it. We don't know if there's going to be anything else with it, if there's going to be a new sequel to Animal Crossing, if there's going to be a new Legend of Zelda game. We don't know anything new that's coming out with it. And I got stuck again. I did not even know I could get stuck in these areas. And not knowing what's coming up next kind of makes me a little uncertain. Like I want... It's the fear of being a content creator. I don't want to get stuck making content in a game that doesn't have an audience or doesn't have a long-term audience. I could definitely aim to be like the big, like the face of Animal Crossing content creation, but I'm not confident that that is the future of video gaming, I guess would be the word. It's definitely going to be a small-time niche, and without having like any personal incentive to keep playing Animal Crossing on a grand scale, I just kind of find it difficult to pursue that. So I do really enjoy it though, so it'll always be a hobby, and maybe one day it can be a little bit more than a hobby. Maybe if I do get the Switch 2 and whatever sequel to New Horizons comes out, I wouldn't mind investing in it at that point, but as of right now, it doesn't look like there's a high likelihood that that'll be a thing. So you just kind of have to basically just read the situation, see where we go from here. Maybe we'll have something new, maybe we won't. Who really knows? But yeah, it's just been a big part of my life, though. I'm never gonna lose it. There's a rapper named MC Chris. He had a song called Nerd Girl, but it's spelled NRRRDGRRRL, and he has a line in there where he talks about the girl is playing Animal Crossing on her Nintendo DS, and every time I'd hear that, I would smile because I'm like, I like Animal Crossing. I'm glad like somebody else knows about it. I felt like the big issue is like I loved Animal Crossing so much as a teenager, and I really felt like nobody else cared about Animal Crossing. Like, it was just in a world where we have Call of Duty and like we have these shooting games, we have fighting games, we have adventure games, we have every type of game, racing games, all the games under the rainbow that you could possibly imagine. And then you show up and you're just like, well, my favorite game is Animal Crossing. Like, well, what is it? It's just a game where you live in a neighborhood with a bunch of animals. And they kind of look at you like, what else? It's like, that's it. The incentive to keep playing every day is, every day is a new day. There's no, back then, it's not like there was like big events. There's no online support for it. The only time you can visit somebody else's island would be if they came over with their GameCube memory card. Which, just saying that out loud makes me think, dang, man, I've gotten old. Like, the fact that GameCube, what are they called? Memory cards, any kind of memory card, are still around. It's like, or not still around, they're not around anymore. Everything saves to the console or to non-specific memory cards now. And it's just like, really, really gets me thinking about how much it's changed, I guess. Oh man, like, we use micro SD cards now in our Switches, but what's it called? If you're playing on a GameCube, not a GameCube, I'm stuck on that, an Xbox or a PlayStation, it saves to the system itself. Same can be said about if you play on other things as well, like on your PC. Yeah, it plays also on these things too, and it's just like trying to mentally wrap my head around it. It's just like memories just really changed. We don't need memory cards anymore. And I remember when the first one came out, Animal Crossing, when the first Animal Crossing came out on the GameCube, you could get a it came with its own memory card because it took so much memory that, you know, if you use it with the other ones, it was going to take up too much space. And it was like it took up so much space just on the memory card alone. There's a little trick, I don't know if anybody else knows, but if you turned Animal Crossing on and you loaded up your file, right, with like with everything, you loaded it up and it was playing, you could open up your GameCube, like the top part of it, where the disc goes. You could open the disc tray, and you know when it opens, the disc stops, and the game stops running. That's true for every single game that came out on the GameCube, minus Animal Crossing, because most of it was run on the off the memory card. The game would actually keep running while it was open. So you could literally, if you didn't want to damage your disc, you could, what's it called? Load up the game, and as soon as you load up the game and you're in the game, open up the GameCube, take this disc out, put it into its case again, and just play it without the actual disc being in. And I always thought that was like really interesting that it would actually do that. And yeah, like, it was just only Animal Crossing, to my knowledge, actually did that. So it was pretty interesting thing that they had over there. Other than that, you know, any other game, you're playing Smash Bros. Melee, you're playing Sonic Adventure, and your thing opened up for whatever reason, like the disc skipped, the game would shut down, and you hope that you had saved it, like autosave was on or something like that. But it's really good that it did that only for Animal Crossing. Not so much. It was good that only Animal Crossing did that, but it was good that Animal Crossing did do that, because anybody who's ever heard of Mr. Rossetti can tell you he's not a fun guy to deal with. And the fact that you know that you don't have to worry about, oh, my CD skipped and my game reset, and now I have to deal with him chewing my ear off. Mind you, I don't know if he ever actually sets your save file. I never got to that point, but he's been mad at me a few times. I mean, I feel like it was mostly on accident. I think one time, I think the first time, it was not an accident. I think I just turned it off for whatever reason, and I had no idea. Man, he was the source of fear for me in my teenage years, like the overwhelming disappointment that would come from him finding out that I didn't save my file was just, I was scared. I couldn't. He had my number. Like, oh Lord, like he was the real final boss. I fought lots of bosses in video games. I've taken on from Eggman to Bowser to Handsome Jack to Alduin, all these different bosses. But the real final boss for me was Rossetti, because he shows up. If he is sincere about what he's saying, he could show up and he could literally just ruin my whole day, and I'd probably cry and just be upset. But other than that, the only time I think you ever really have any issues is if there's like a thunderstorm and your power goes out, and there's not much you can do about that. I think that's why they had it to where it wasn't every single time that you could get a pass on it. But I don't know if it was set up in such a way that, I don't know if they expired or if it's like lifetime attempts. But I can happily say never ever had him actually go through on his threats. So thankfully that I feel nice and safe with that. Man, I can't even imagine how upset I'd be if that ever actually happened. So really grateful for that. More grateful that we live in the future now, where I don't even know if he still exists in the game, since, you know, we have so much autosave going on in the future. But it's just crazy to think that that's what it is. I mean, nowadays, you know, the only thing you have to worry about destroying your save files is corrupted information. But you know, that's the risk you take in this digital age that we live in. But I'm trying to think, like, of all the things, like, it's always fun. My number one complaint about Animal Crossing back then was, like, holidays come around, right? And say it's Halloween or Thanksgiving. I feel like you almost have to play with your game a day ahead, because, like, if Halloween comes around, what's your options? You stay at home and you go trick-or-treating with your animals, trying to find Jack, or you go out and do something with your friends. Thanksgiving comes around, maybe you might be able to find time to, you know, play with Franklin and all that jazz. On the original game, the Thanksgiving thing was, like, you can tell how times have changed. In the original game, what would happen would be is Franklin was invited by Tortimer. Franklin is the turkey, and he'd be invited by Tortimer as a special guest, and it was very much implied that, yeah, we're gonna eat him. So what he would do is he would hide behind a tree somewhere in the town, or a building. Trees are buildings, and you have to go to the town square, and you'd have to steal the knife and fork that were on the table, and you have to go find Franklin, return them to Franklin, and that's how you got your Thanksgiving items from him for the event. I remember, speaking of things, going back to Jack, you having to do like trick or treat, and it ruined your outfits. I hated that so much. But they had a spooky sofa. It was an orange sofa that was made out of a weird kind of, I wouldn't even say fabric, it was just a material. It's kind that you don't really want to sweat on, like pleather or whatnot. And it was the first item I ever discovered. There's other ones that do the same thing. But when you go to sit on it, it make like an air fart sound, like type of thing, and they make like when you get off of it. And I hated it so much. Like, this is just gross. Like, ugh, what is that? Type of thing. Like, all this talking, you know, we haven't even looked at my house. Please, you know, what's that old saying? Like, bless the mess. None of the animals actually spoiled how long I've been away, so guaranteed there are bugs inside the house, but we'll take care of those guys. Kind of real quick, give you guys a quick little rundown of what my house be looking like. Yep, but I like this little cozy look. I like how it looks like this, and it looks actually appropriate because it's winter right now, but we looking like this all year long, so I guess we'll start over here with the kitchen. Get a good look at what the kitchen looks like. Say it before I go in there, as if like people just can naturally assume that they know that's going to be a kitchen, but kind of like how it overall looks. Worst thing that's going to happen calling you right now, someone's going to come to my house right now while I'm trying to get this little detour. Not detour, this little tour. Yeah, just kind of cozy little kitchen look. Got where I can cook my food and all that jazz. I really like all the different options you have when decorating. We have this area over here, my living quarters. Really big fan of the sharks and whatnot. I like these birchwood decorations and all that. Really big fan of all the different artwork and stuff. I really like how of all the things that have changed within the town, this is one thing that's always stayed the same. This is pretty much how my house has looked. I have one change. This is my ridiculous restroom. That's just full of all the shiny golden things. Why it says be dim and golden, I don't know, but we got the shower, we got the toilet, just all the fun things in here. It's ridiculous, bougie if you will, but you know I kind of like how it came out. Going up to the second floor, you know, if you guys are any different, let me know. Where do you put your bedroom when you decorate your town or your house? I've always liked to put mine on the second floor, especially when I have the this wallpaper that makes it look like I'm on a skyrise, even though very obviously I don't live on a skyrise. Lots of instruments in here. Got my actual little what's this thing called? I can't remember what they're called. I don't know what it's called. But get the clothes there, change your look over there. Man, vanity. Got my little vanity over there. I like that you can actually play the drums like this. We got the guitar and the harp. Found Nemo also, and Dory as well, thankfully. Oh, I forgot that you can do that. Oh yeah, you can dream now. I forgot that was even. I honestly never went to Dream Islands, so I don't even know. Downstairs, one of my favorite things that I built. I had this great idea and just kind of went full hog on it. But basically, I decided that I wanted to have a movie theater in my. Have my head in the way. Let's go to the second row where I'm not so much in the way. But yeah, have a little movie theater. Put the projector up there, and it's kind of what it looks. Oh, I put music on the walls that look kind of like they'd be like the movie posters. There's even a popcorn machine in the back corner over there, and put the exit sign. Charming little thing. I really like all the what's it called, custom design choice things that you can use as well. The latest thing that I changed on it, I used to have this little back garden area, but I got rid of it since then. I don't know if anybody's seen the video, but I like how The original one I've seen, they used a bookshelf, but I thought maybe this thing could work and match my room better, and sure enough, it does. So basically, you can have a hidden room. And I like having this back here. It's kind of like it's like my top secret room. It's where I do all my research and all that jazz. Man, this bug is just going to be the end of me. Nope, I'll be the end of him. Just like this look. It's like kind of like an Area 51 type thing. I even put a little. I got a horseshoe crab over there. I got the little alien statue right there. Got some plants over here. I figured they might fit the theme. What else is there? Oh, yeah, of course, I knew it. I knew it as soon as. Yeah. Oh man, I feel so bad. Yeah. Normally I feel bad about that, but you know, they just gotta help themselves. I like this little machine down here too, like all these different machines. I feel like it just kind of really makes this room look like I'm the guy who has all the secrets and stuff. Oh, well, great. I feel, oh man, I'm so close to him. I can be a little bit sensitive at times. I feel really bad that I completely ditched her, but you know, at the same time, you know, she's kind of let herself in, so it happens. But you know, oh well. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just to be kind, I will go find out wherever she is right now, and I'll go talk to her right quick, just to smooth things over. I don't know where she went. She was towards the south of town somewhere. But I just love how full the village feels now. My number one complaint is the idea that they have all... These animals are so much more active. You find them all over the place. You can find them in the museum, you find them in the shops, you find them all sorts of places. You find them at each other's houses sometimes. But I can't help myself. I was spoiled at one point. I don't appreciate the fact that the very first Animal Crossing game had 15 villagers, and no game since, I believe, has ever had 15 villagers, and like, I just kind of miss that. Like I don't think anybody would possibly complain if they had 5 extra villagers. So that's just my little complaint that I have for myself. But other than that, I'd say it's pretty much a perfect game. Maybe if the animals could actually catch things, that might be a change right there. But overall, not just this game, this has been a great addition to my recent life, but to my life entire. I'd say that I can't imagine myself enjoying video games without the consideration of Animal Crossing. It's really got me through so much. Living rent-free in my head, the original rain theme from Animal Crossing. Basically, Animal Crossing these days, there's one theme for each hour of the day, and it changes with winter. I think with Halloween also might change, but also on rainy days. The original game did not. The original game was one rain theme that played, and rain would go all day. Nowadays, you have it goes by the hour. Back when the original game came out, you had one choice. It was at 6 a.m. I believe, or 4 a.m. when it did the day change, and it would pick whether it rained that day or not. And then if it rained, it would rain all day, and all that rain would have one theme song that would go with it the entire time. And it's a great theme song too. Like, if you haven't heard it, I would hum it for you, but I couldn't do it justice. I guess I'll try to say it. Do 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 do, something like that. And it was, I'm not gonna say a banger, but it was a great, relaxing song. Perhaps I might call it my first like exposure to the idea of chill hop. Like, shoot, if there's a chill hop version of it, I might have to go look that up after this video. See if there's a chill hop version of the original Animal Crossing cover. or cover game. And if there is, I might have to put it on my playlist because like I love that song. It made every rainy day better. The only thing that came anywhere near close to making a rainy day as good as that song was the fact that you could catch coelacanths, the little ancient fossil fish that were worth a boat ton of money. Boat ton. Missed both. Maybe I meant like boat load, but I tried to say butt ton at the same time, so it came out as like boat tone. Oh lord. But my best. I've always loved fishing in Animal Crossing. I feel like it's like one of the best things. There's like a whole game. This is called like Animal Crossing Fishing, where they just like strip down Animal Crossing to where it's like the bare minimum, but you get to fish for hours on end, catch like 500, like 1,000 different types of fish. I'd be all over that real quick. My best fishing memory in Animal Crossing was a random day. I can't even tell you when it happened, why it happened, if there's an explanation behind it. It could just be a made-up memory, but there is a day, I swear, I went fishing in the ocean. In the original game, in September, you could catch salmon in the ocean. In the summer months, you could catch a jellyfish. If it was raining or snowing, you can catch coelacanth. And during the winter, you could not catch bar and knife jaws, which were the main thing you wanted. But at this time of day, or of year, we didn't have any other things. The only things that were applicable were the bar and knife jaws. It was winter. We had red snappers and the infamous sea bass. Everybody knows about the sea bass. But it was the day the sea bass went on vacation. I was playing and I was fishing because that's how I used to pay off all my debts. And all day, all I caught were red snappers and barred knife jaws. To paint the picture for you at the time, I don't know if their prices have translated to current games, but barred knife jaw were worth 5,000. They were the most expensive thing you can catch in the ocean, other than the coelacanth, who were worth 15,000. Red snapper weren't far behind, who were 3,000 bells, and then sea bass I think were like 120. So the sea bass were the worst thing to catch, and everything else was kind of worth their while. So my fishing method would be like just keep fishing. I fished till I had 15 fish because that's all we had storage for, 15 items, and then as I'd catch, I'd keep fishing, and say I have like 6 sea bass and 9 red snappers. I would keep fishing, and each time I got another red snapper, I throw a sea bass out and then swap them out and then sell those. But it was just one random day. I can't explain how or why. Maybe it's in the code. Maybe like somebody can explain it. Maybe it's literally just by delusion or extreme luck. But there were no sea bass the entire time. I couldn't stop it. It's like when you go to the casino and you start winning. I was at the fish casino and I was just winning, and I just kept fishing, and I just got so much money that day. And it really helped me because on my town, I turned all the different houses that I had into different things. So like I had like my main house, but then the other 3 that were on my memory card, I turned them into other things. One was like an arcade, one was like a bug house, and one was like a fish house. But I think actually the fish and the bug in the arcade were like the same. I'm not entirely certain, but paying off all the debt, not once, not twice, but 4 times, whatever comes after thrice. Yeah, catching all those fish really helped that out. And one of the saltiest things you can do in the original game is after you paid off your debt, by the train station, they put a statue in honor of you. And it was a race that would never be erased from the game cartridge. The first person to pay off their debt got a gold statue of them. Second place got a silver statue. Third place got bronze. And there was kind of like, I'm guessing it was copper because it was kind of greenish, was the last person to pay off their debt. And the size of the statue also differentiated. So first person to pay off their debt would have a big gold statue. And then the last person would get this a small copper statue, and it was just like, so like if you're playing with like your friends or family members, like if you actually had like family who played on the same save file as you want to be the first one to pay off your debt. It was hard. Like I don't see how that would have been a practical thing, considering that Animal Crossing is one of the games that like you can't play multiplayer at the same time. Like you have to have like your own, like you can't live in the same island and play the same time. Like if I were to pick what the future of Animal Crossing should have, they should have the ability to share an island with your friends online, similar to like a Minecraft realm server, where you all can like play at the same time. Because like it sucks to be in a situation like oh yeah, all I have to do is pay off my debt first, and I will be able to get the big statue on that game. But it's difficult when you have to share your console, I mean your playtime, with other people. So like the only way it could ever be fair is if it's like you play with your friends, or not friends, like if you words. Only way it would possibly be fair is if you had like take turns, and like each person was only given like 1 or 2 hours a day. Like if you're talking like 4 people, like the full four people, and you're talking about like younger folk, like let's say like they're younger folk, like it's your 4 kids who all share a game. You probably have to like tell them like, all right, everybody gets an hour because they live in school and whatnot. So like as soon as you get home from school, one person gets on, they only get an hour, and then the next person, yada yada, so on and so on. So it's actually fair to see who's going to like get the statue first, because like if one person's just playing all the time, then it'll be impossible for anybody to actually overtake that one person. So you kind of hope that you need to have to find a way to keep it fair that way. So hopefully when the next game comes out, not just for that sake, because we don't have the statues anymore, but just in general, being able to play on a shared island online where I can get on at any point. Like if the island was like server side type of thing, like if each island had its own dedicated server, so that somebody could get on and they don't have to worry about like, oh, you don't like currently when you play, if somebody visits your island, it freezes and they have to have that whole scene where they come and visit you, play out, where they get off the plane. You could skip that and just have it to where you can just play, all like seamlessly. Like when I'm playing on Minecraft on my realm server, I don't have to worry about whenever my brother or sister, my wife or anybody or the kids get online, I don't have to worry about them the game freezes up or anything like that. And I'm hoping when the next Animal Crossing comes out, perhaps they could do something similar to that. So, but that's all speculation. Who says there's going to be another Animal Crossing? Like, the one thing I'm most concerned about is the other game that took a lot of my time when I was a teenager was Smash Brothers. Smash Ultimate came out not too long ago. I've been enjoying that game. The fact that everybody's here, it's pretty much a guarantee that when the next Smash Brothers comes out, that they're not going to have as many characters, or if they have more characters, like, the fact that the idea that they were going to get all of their current characters back is highly unlikely. So that's something to consider. So like the future of games that I've enjoyed, like Animal Crossing and Smash Brothers, I don't know what they're going to look like on a Switch 2, but I definitely wouldn't mind playing them when they come out. Like I said, like the main reason I'll play a game like this more frequently is because, oh wow, I've never seen that happen. I just don't know if there's a huge audience for it. I don't mind. Something I might do, I might just kind of revisit this periodically, I don't mind that. Like just kind of coming back to my Animal Crossing island, changing it up here and there, letting you guys see how it's changed. My wife wants me to work on it a lot of the time, so I might go into that a little bit. But to pretty much summarize it all, it's been quite an important part of my life. If I were to make a Mount Rushmore of my favorite games, top like two their auto inclusions would be Animal Crossing and the Pokemon franchises, like the franchises as a whole. Smash Brothers probably goes on there too. The third one, I don't know. I'd have to really do some like deep thinking on what the third one might be. I've grown up as an adult. I've got a deeper respect or appreciation for a lot of older games, but it's definitely a very important one for me. And the amount of memories that I made on and around this game, being able to introduce my wife and her family to it, to really make friends using this game as a catalyst, I've really enjoyed it. And you know, the best thing about it, one of the great things about Animal Crossing is no matter how bad your parents might be, or how bad your friends might be, you always have the best versions of them online. Your mom's always going to send you a letter for special events, as well as just to say hi, hello. And you also have friends who care about you and never forget your birthday. And it's just a great game in general. If you haven't been able to experience the Animal Crossing franchise personally yet, I do definitely recommend it. And I just really hope that you guys enjoy this little walk around, not just the game, but around my life. One other thing I would like to add to these. These are a reflection of past parts of my life, but I also want to look towards the future. So something I am going to try to use the Saturday showcase for is to create some form of accountability for myself. So basically, I, like a lot of people, wish to lose weight this year to kind of be more fit. And hopefully, if I can say it out loud, it can give somebody the opportunity to actually call me out on this journey. So, you know, we'll call this the starting point right here, where I'm starting with you guys. And hopefully, next Saturday, I will keep telling you smaller and smaller numbers until we get to what my goal ought to be. Thinking around the 200 mark, but today, officially, I will state that I'm at 246.4 pounds. And yeah, hopefully that'll keep going down. I've been told I wear it well, but I'd rather not wear it at all. So hopefully, I don't know what we're going to do for next Saturday showcase. I'm thinking maybe Donkey Kong Country or Celeste. Basically, just plan on playing these games for about an hour or so. Not trying to necessarily beat the games, but just try to get some experience in, while I also get some new experiences while sharing with you guys my prior experiences, and give you something special to look forward to at the end of the week. As always, I really appreciate you guys coming by. If you have any memories regarding the Animal Crossing franchise, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. If you have any questions or suggestions about what we should do next or how we should do it, I'm all ears on that one. Basically, I'm not trying to be a content creator, but more of a community curator. So feedback is always appreciated. And other than that, we still have the Prattling Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're going to have another Saturday showcase every Saturday. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Y'all take care, and yeah, toodles.